Everyone faces struggles, whether you see it or not. That's the rhythm of life, ups and downs, highs and lows. When you are in the deepest lows, it can feel inescapable, permanent, even hopeless. It makes you wonder, what's the point? What's the point of going through all these darkest times? It took me almost 9 years to fully understand. But let me tell you this, it's more than worth it. This realization changed everything in my life. It not only healed me, but also brought me vitality, wisdom, and a deeply fulfilling life I never thought possible. Today, I want to share this powerful gift with you. First, let me take you through the pivotal breakthroughs I've experienced along my journey that led me here. Because without them, I won't be who I am today. Before the era of children, I was on top of the world, an ambitious, driven woman who could conquer anything. Friends call me the Iron Lady. Life was truly awesome. Then 9 years ago, at one of the happiest moments of my life, welcoming my first beautiful son into this world, life brought me to my knees. Severe postnatal depression, insomnia. I changed drastically and turned into someone completely unrecognizable, extremely angry, negative, irritable. The happy, joyful girl I used to be, she was gone. I had fallen from the top of the world straight to the ground. Without sleep, I was falling apart fast. My body weakened by the day. My mind spiraled out of control, and my vision blurred. Panic attacks hit me one after another, relentless and never-ending. I was barely hanging on, dangling at the edge of existence. Being an auditor for my entire professional life, I desperately needed answers. I knew I didn't want a temporary fix or meds to numb my pain. I wanted to find the root cause. I wanted gone, so I never had to deal with this ever again. So I started searching. I read books, listened to podcasts, even enrolled in the course to become a health coach. Anything to help me find myself again. That's what led me to the first pivotal moment, the biggest breakthrough yet. One that pulled me out of the shadows. If you are on the journey of healing or self-discovery, I hope this touches your heart as much as it did mine. If it does, please help me touch even more hearts. Subscribe, leave a comment, and share with others. Breakthrough number 1. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. I will never forget that day. I was walking on the beach, listening to the Super Soul Sunday podcast, where Oprah was interviewing T.D. Jakes. He said, "Your life is a mirror of what's inside of you." It struck me so deeply, I stopped walking and cried and cried. I heard that phrase so many times before, but for the first time, I truly understood its meaning. And that completely changed how I see life. I realized it wasn't my in-laws' problem. It wasn't my husband's problem. It was me. I had created the life I was living from the inside out. In that moment, I realized something so powerful. I wasn't a victim. I was a creator. I thought if I had the power to create a wounded life, then I also had the power to create a healed one. I could create the life I truly wanted. That day, a crack appeared in my old perspective. Through that crack, light began to pour in. Breakthrough number 2, going within when your outer world is shattered. Postnatal depression and insomnia shattered my outer world. Everything I once loved was no longer possible. It was as if the entire world has shut down on me and I was trapped in a cocoon of isolation. When there's nothing left to hold on to outside, there's only one place to go, inside. Intuitively, I started searching for meditation practices. It makes sense. Meditation means becoming familiar with yourself. I found a transcendental meditation teacher nearby and immersed myself in learning. I started to know myself. In knowing myself, I started to heal. Funny enough, I used to be so skeptical about meditation. I remember years ago, a friend took me to a meditation center. Sitting there, I couldn't stop giggling, thinking, why can't these people find something better to do? But when my entire world crumbled, intuition led me right back there. And that time, I felt its power. Meditation became my anchor, bringing me the peace I so desperately needed. For the first time, I experienced the immense power of stillness, of simply being with myself, doing nothing, yet feeling everything. Meditation has been my daily ritual ever since. Though my meditation practice has evolved over the years, I rarely missed a day. Lately, I've realized my life itself has become a meditation. I move through it with flow, connecting with everything around me with ease. It's such a magical feeling. So meditation was the first and the most powerful tool that transformed my reality. I stopped blaming, stopped criticizing, and stopped searching outside for answers. Instead, I started owning my life from the inside out. Breakthrough number 3, focus on what you want, not what you don't want. My doctor once suggested I join a depression support group. He said that meeting and talking to others who were going through similar struggles would make me feel supported and less alone. Intuitively, I knew that was not for me. I didn't want to sit in the room talking about the depression. I didn't want to be reminded of it, labeled by it, or identified with it. I don't want to manage it. I wanted it gone. What I wanted was wellness and happiness. Then it hit me. For so long, I had been focusing on what I didn't want: the flaws, the injustice, the unfairness, the problems. As Dr. Joe Dispenza always says, where your attention goes, your energy flows. Without realizing it, I was feeding the very things I wanted to escape. The more I focused on them, the more they grew. Before I knew it, my life became a reflection of everything I didn't want. That day, I made a conscious decision. I would focus on what I wanted. I wanted joy, peace, happiness. So that's where I directed my attention, not on struggles, not on chaos. The moment I made that shift, everything started to change. Breakthrough number 4, the power of Polarity. Not long after my second son was born, I faced the most heartbreaking moment. My marriage collapsed. Coming from a culture where marriage defines a woman's entire destiny, I felt like I had failed at everything. I was devastated and tried everything to fix it. I fought, pleaded, hoped. Nothing worked. In the deepest despair, I went inside to be with myself. Then something shifted. For the first time, I felt his pain, not just mine. It was so strong, so overwhelming, that all I wanted was to set him free. Free from all the pain of being with me. With overflowing love in my heart, I let him go. That's when something extraordinary happened the very next day. My marriage came back, a true miracle. Fast forward to today, while we still have ups and downs, we are stronger and more connected than ever before. That was the first time I truly understood the power of Polarity, how adversity can turn into opportunity when we choose the opposite response. Letting him go didn't just free him, it freed me. And with that, new doors began to open. Do the opposite and feel the opposite. As St. Francis of Assisi once said, "Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. And where there is sadness, joy." The power of polarity never ceases to amaze me. Every single time I choose love and joy in the face of adversity, it transforms into something truly beautiful. I realized we are all born alchemists, capable of turning every setback into strength, every low into a rise, simply by choosing love. And that brings me here, the most profound realization of them all. The darkest times were never meant to break us. They were meant to weaken us, to shape us into who we truly are, the powerful creators of miracles, wonders, and destinies beyond imagination. That is the power of true love. Choose to be that love, no matter what. When you truly love yourself, everything shifts. You begin to see goodness everywhere. You start loving everything and everyone. Not because the world changes, but because you do. Everything and everyone in your life is a reflection of you. They are you, and you are them. Loving yourself is loving others. Loving others is loving yourself. There is no separation, only wholeness. So embrace it all. Love all that is. Love your struggles, because all the struggles we experience, they are not punishments. They are not obstacles. They are teachers. The greatest teachers who guide us to this magical place. There is no one against you. There is no true adversity. There are only people and situations waiting to be transformed into something beautiful. And you have the power to do that. When you do, when you choose to be that love no matter what, you find yourself living in joy, in peace, in the glow of oneness. You become the beacon of light for others, creating more miracles and wonders in this world. In the end, our darkest moments are not the end. They are the beginning of something extraordinary. I promise you, it's more than worth it.